Welcome, everybody, to an exciting episode of the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty Show on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Nice little promo. I've been working on it. I appreciate you guys for all tuning in. And just bear with me as I get into the Facebook Live feed so I can catch all the comments, questions, and very curious individuals who want to talk about the Steeler football. So, honestly, we are going to talk about the Steelers and how they did not use a franchise or a transitional tag this year. I thought they were going to franchise or tag Cam Sutton. They did not. So the Steelers right now have nobody under a franchise tag or a transition, which is highly crazy, which I don't know what's going on. And we will get down to it because we have a lot of time to talk about it, especially before the draft. So, like I said, I thought they honestly that they would actually franchise Cam Sutton, and they did not. And they didn't do that with anybody. But also, too, Pittsburgh Press beat writer Ray Filipponi estimates that it's likely in a range of $10 to $12 million to sign Cam Sutton. So and that's the first priority for the Steelers to actually sign this offseason is Cam Sutton, followed by defensive end Larry Obajobi, which I truly like because that gives a little bit of the line solidified because all we have is Cam Hayward. So let's get to I'm looking at Facebook right now as we speak. Hey, Javicki, Mr. Tim Javicki, thanks for tuning in. Chris Elliott, Kenny Eugene, thanks to you guys for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty Show, episode 55. But also, too, it's 55 total since I started the new promo here with the new name. But number 55 is Joey Porter. I don't think we're going to draft Joey Porter's kid, though. So there we go. Art offered green stamps to Cam Sutton for a payment. Well, Steelers freak. If he did, it's Dollar General prices, and maybe you'll get a couple of granola bars. Hey, Javicki, thanks for tuning in. But like I said, Larry Obajobi was his second linebacker, Robert Spillane, safety Terrell Edmonds, and these are they need to sign them, in just my opinion, is to get some depth because we need some depth. Hey, Shane, how you doing? Woo, okay. What's up, Shane? Hey, Chris, thanks for tuning in. We need to sign Zach Gentry, and we also need to sign safety DeMonte Kazee because Kazee, after he came back from his injury, was actually very, very good. So hopefully we can sign him. Hopefully Omar Khan can actually put some money to use. Get these guys signed up because there's a lot of stuff on free agency. There is so much news that I can't keep up with everything. And but I'm trying to do the best I can. So now with the Steelers, hey, Benjamin, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty Show, episode 55. So now we have the important dates for the Steelers to get into it with is right now it was the top facility visits on March 7th to April 19th. So how you doing, Benjamin? Free agency contract period, March 13th to the 15th. And the NFL draft is April 27th to the 29th. I believe Thursday night, wherever. I don't know where they're going to be this year. I believe last year was Vegas. But also, too, the Steelers' NFL picks for the 2023. I'm sure I'll be saying this numerous times going on before draft. The Steelers in the round 1, pick 17. Round 2, it's the trade. It's pick 32 from the Chicago Bears for the Chase Claypool trade. Round 2, pick number 50. Round 3, pick 81. Round 4, picked one. It's going to be pick 120. Round 5, it's going to be pick 154, traded to Seattle Seahawks for Akilio Witherspoon. Thank you. Thank you, Steeler Freak. The draft is in KC. All right. Just all right. Round 6, pick 196. is traded to the Denver Broncos for that great pick of Malik Reed. That was great. He was so awesome. He was scaring me in the season last year with all he produced. That was just a great trade. Malik Reed. That was just, oh my God, it was tremendous. The Steelers, whoever made that trade, hats off to you. It was the biggest Steeler trade ever. Round 7, pick 237 from Denver Broncos for Malik Reed for the picks 196 that they got. And then round 7 is pick 244. So, guys, those are your picks. If we trade, now there's been speculation that we might trade up. I don't know. I don't know. To get an offensive lineman that they were talking about, your guess is as good as mine. It's going to be really crazy come draft day. There's a lot of craziness going on. They just had the NFL Combine last week. Now, their Steelers, they had an article where the Steelers should consider these 4 winners of the NFL Scouting Combine. Number 1 was defensive lineman. This is going to be a great way to pronounce this. Adamola Abawa. Yeah, I effed that up. Out of Northwestern. Maybe a later round, but he can definitely get some pass rush. Number 2 was the edge. Nolan Smith out of Georgia. 4.39 second in the 40-yard dash. He's naturally quick, and I don't see them going for a first-round pick with that guy. I don't know. Maybe in later rounds also. Third one is a defensive lineman, Brian Brees of Clemson. Ran a 4.8. He's 6'5", 298 pounds. I don't see them, these 3, I do not see these 3 getting to be the first pick. Hey, Richard Smoke, what's up? Rich says they should get rid of the Combine. Doesn't prove anything. I totally agree. This doesn't mean, just because you can run fast don't mean you're going to get drafted. And you got a high reach. I guess you can dunk, since you can dunk a basketball. No, I agree, Rich. It's all, I didn't even watch any of that. But number 4 is Sidney Brown out of Illinois. He's a big hitting, strong safety. Kind of, from what I read, they for example, it's reminded them of Troy Polamalu, but they're not picking him in the first round. They're taking him on day 2 if they take anything. Rich says speed, strength, jump ability, etc. Nothing pairs up the way it's supposed to be in the game. Yes, that is so true. Yeah, it's game time stuff. Anybody can play, anybody can run until you get look at Ryan Leaf. Everybody thought he was great. Look what he's doing. He's robbing houses, and now he's been out of a job for a long, long time. So now I've been reading a lot of different articles, and a lot of articles that's stated there's a lot of mock drafts. Everybody's got their Steeler mock draft. Now the CBS Sports top 5 the Steelers should make. Top 5 moves the Steelers should make in the 2023 offseason. Now, let me see if you guys agree. And Rich says, I can interview well and read X's and O's. I'll take $12 million a year. Where do I start? You can start anywhere, Rich. Yeah, $12 million. That's a sign-on bonus right there. So, and then the Freak says the combine is one of the only ways to keep folks interested 365 days. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not real affiliated with a lot of college ball players. I mean, I'm trying to read up on a lot of stuff. I only get it when they get signed by the Steelers because there's a lot of stuff going on. But CBS Sports has come out with the 5 moves the Steelers should make in the 2023 offseason. Number 1, if we can agree, you guys can disagree, whatever you guys prefer. If you guys commented, I'll put it out there on the show. Number 1 is extend Alex Highsmith's contract. I could agree with that. Highsmith had a great year. He got snubbed, and I just felt that he produced 14 and a half sacks. They should get something. Omar Khan should do the money guru and extend his contract. Number 2, now this is crazy, and I don't know if they'll ever do this. They said bring back Jerron Hargrave. Hargrave, you know what I mean? He was great with the Eagles. do the Steelers re-sign him? I cannot see that happening because it would take a lot of money, and I believe Rich Smoke is online right now, and Rich could say that too because he's an Eagles fan, and it would cost a lot of money to actually sign him. I don't think the Steelers can afford it. I don't think. Okay, athletes have to be compete at high level. Speed and strength are important. Okay, Donnie says that, and speed and strength is very important. Steelers Freak said it's too old. Benjamin says Brian King. Okay. And number 3 is bring in competition at the offensive tackle because Dan Moore is going to get Kenny Pickett, his third concussion is going to get him killed. So I can agree with that one, definitely. And I also have a segment where we're going to talk about some free agency offensive linemen. Do the Steelers sign or do they not? Take advantage of the deep inside linebacker free agency class. What do you agree? You agree with? Oh, thanks, Benjamin. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, and then also you guys can comment. Number 5, they said draft the Porter kid over Jordan Addison. I believe. I mean, that's going to be tough. I mean, we need defense. We need a defensive line. But if they don't sign Cam Sutton, they're definitely going to sign a corner. And I think there's better corners out there besides Joey Porter's kid. And I think they're only doing Joey Porter's kid because of the lineage that him and Tomlin had, in Pittsburgh, I believe. So that was CBS's Sports 5 moves the Steelers should make in 2000. And, oh, yes, it has. And I have another segment where we're going to talk about the inside linebacking of Miles Jack and who's going to be turning 28. And matter of fact, let's get on it right now. I'll switch it up a little bit. I can audible. I'm going to go Oklahoma right now. I'm going to go Oklahoma. And these are 3 options since we're talking about inside linebackers. And I'll go right to Miles Jack heading in for the 2023 season. Javicki says, do we know how much money, cap money, we have to spend? I don't think we have that much money to spend, Javick. I don't know, but Omar Khan's probably going to restructure Fitzpatrick's deal. He's going to restructure TJ Watt's deal. He should he should just erase fucking Dante Johnson's fucking contract. $36 million, $18 million, no touchdowns. Jesus God almighty. That's just god awful. So I don't know the logistics of all the P's and Q's on that, Javik. But we're pretty tight. We're pretty close. We can't. Plus, we got Mitch Trubisky with like $10 million. And also, too, with Miles Jack, what your 3 option was be release him. The $11.25 million salary cap hit for 2023, the Steelers could save $8 million by moving on from him. So right there, just move on from Miles Jack, but we don't have anybody. So I don't know. The wrath of Khan is coming. Yeah, Captain Kirk probably don't want to see Omar Khan trying to fucking sign his salary. That's for sure. So okay, also too, to retain him. And that is the best option, too, is to retain him. Well, Benjamin says Addison is better than Johnson. I don't know about that. Addison is not a proven commodity. Johnson he just didn't have the touchdowns. That's all. Hey, Trisha Farmery Taylor, thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty experience. Boy, I fucked that all up. That's a lot of stuff. But I don't see Addison being better than Johnson right now. I know he didn't have the catches for the touchdowns, but still, he's still the year before he had 10 touchdowns, and I just don't see that. I just don't see that. Not right now. Now Pickens is definitely better than Dante Johnson. I see that. I definitely see that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Trisha. I try. Sometimes I get tongue tied doing these podcasts. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to read, and I went to Marion Center, and I don't have my glasses on because the reason why I don't have my reading glasses on because it shines into the computer, and everybody can see what I'm looking at. and see myself. It's just crazy. Totally crazy. Totally crazy. Okay, it Jack will take a lower price, then yes. Yes, I agree. Restructure his contract and make it cheap so we can actually sign some people. We need a lot of people signed. We need to get a lot of stuff. So the third is extend Miles's. He's turning 28, like I said. Extend his contract, which will reduce the 2023 salary cap. So that's what we do. They restructure it. He's going to be 28 years old. We don't have any other viable options at inside linebacker right now, unless they sign. If they don't sign Robert Spillane, Spillane is in depth, not a starter. Marcus Robinson had 2 games under his belt. So we are very, very thin in the inside linebackers. So, and that's crazy. That is god awful. So I just let me see where I'm at because I audibled and I went to okay, here we go. So the NFL Combine participants, like I know we just got done talking about the Combine, but it's another segment, would be the perfect fit for the Steelers. Number 5 was defensive back Brian Branch out of Alabama. 6 foot, 190 pounds, often compared to fellow Alabama alumni Micah Fitzpatrick, ran a 4.5 in the 40. I believe that's might be a lot better than the Porter kid. What do you guys think? JC Day, how you doing from the Extra Point Podcast? How you doing this evening? So, and he also played slot corner and was safety for the Tide. So I believe he's better pick than Porter. That's just my pick. If we're going to go for defensive backs and corners, if we're going to get a corner, that would be the guy I would take over Porter's kid. Okay, number 4 is receiver Jackson Smith Najabi of Ohio State. I can't see them drafting a receiver unless it's Addison, and I don't see this guy being around. He displays a route running from the slot, and he won't be around in the third if they try to take him, is what they were saying about. So he probably, because we definitely don't need receivers in the first and second. Maybe not the third, maybe fourth or fifth, but we need defensive offense and defensive linemen. Isn't like I think he is. I think he is. I think Ike is a scout now. I just don't know where. Maybe for the Steelers. Yeah, for the Steelers. Javicki says his brother plays for the Pirates. Well, that says a lot. That says a lot, Javic. Since the Pirates are going to be winning 77 games this year, maybe that's what I picked them to win. Michelle, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. I totally appreciate everybody for tuning in on a Wednesday night, the first podcast of the week here. It's all Steeler talk. And also, the third one was tight end Darnell Washington out of Georgia, 6'7", 264 pounds, ran a 4.6, great athleticism and strength. Now, that's if Zach Gentry departs. If they don't sign him, we will need we'll need a tight end, so maybe in the later rounds. But I don't see this guy being around at 6'7", 264 pounds. He won't be in the later rounds. He'll be definitely be gone. Definitely be gone. I'm just saying, it is so catastrophic, these mock drafts on who the Steelers get, what's going on. Plus, especially, you have to see what other teams are picking here. A lot of people are getting cut by other teams. Some people got signed this week. But honestly, I don't care because they didn't get signed by the Steelers because we didn't sign anybody this week. So number 2 is inside linebacker Jack Campbell out of Iowa. 6'5", 249 pounds. Dick Butkus Award winner. Big Ten's Defensive Player of the Year. 271 tackles over 2 seasons. He's a tackle machine. So do the Steelers get him in the second round? That could happen. That 32nd pick could be Jack Campbell out of Iowa, especially if we get a tackle. I don't know. Either a tackle, we're drafting an inside linebacker. I just don't know when. And if this guy's still on the table, I believe the Steelers could draft him in the second round. I don't know. I don't have a mock draft pick here. I'm not very good at doing it. I'm not very good at doing anything anymore. But yeah, we need an inside linebacker. He was compared. Somebody compared him to a more heavier Jack Lambert. So let's see. Yeah, it'd be definitely hard. Hard to find. Definitely hard to find. They don't make linebackers like they used to, Steelers freak. It's hard to find, and we haven't had one since Shazier, and we haven't had a good line. James Ferrier was a very good linebacker in his time with the Steelers. Very, very good. Very unappreciated and underrated was James Ferrier, because we always had the guys like, you know, Levon Kirkland and all those other guys. Hey, Bad Brook, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show. And James Harrison and Chad Brown, guys who James Ferrier just was a steady player for the Steelers. Lawrence Timmons, you're pulling my change, Vic. Timmons was okay. He wasn't. James Ferrier was way better than Timmons. Way better. Now, the number one player for the combine that the Steelers would be a perfect fit that people have said about was edge rusher Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. He's 6'5", 272 pounds. He's compared to TJ Watt, bigger than Watt, but not as athletic as Watt. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Brooke. But not as athletic as Watt. And I don't see them taking edge Lucas Van Ness. I just don't see that unless it's later rounds, but some other team would probably actually pick up with that and take him. I would take, out of anybody here, I would take the Brian Branch, the defensive back, and Jack, the inside linebacker, Jack Campbell. So if they get the cornerback Branch at the first pick and they pick second pick, they pick Jack Campbell, I would be okay with that. Maybe, but also too, the Steelers are bringing in now because they get to visit. Hey, Montgomery, long time no see. They are bringing Ohio State is bringing in Dawnwood Jones from Ohio State for a visit here, either tomorrow or very, very soon. So I don't know if they're going to bring in some offensive linemen. I don't know if, like I said before, they could trade up. I have no idea. If they trade up to 2 picks and trade up to get a lineman, an offensive lineman, they need to upgrade on their tackle position and get Dan Moore out of there, because Dan Moore, like I said, is going to get Kenny Pickett killed. So that's what and speaking of free agents, see, Jack Campbell. Well, let me ask you, Steve, like Jack Campbell, what do you think if they draft, say they draft a tackle, an offensive tackle in the first round, that 17th pick, and they take Campbell at the 32nd pick, you think that would be good too? I think that would be okay. I think they're going to take him second. They need an inside linebacker. What's your take on that? And I'll look to see if I see any of you talking here, but like I said, there's 3 free agents the Steelers could sign on their offensive line. Absolutely a deal, a need. Yeah, I know. I don't know how an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. We have so many needs, Steve. We are just, I don't know what to do. Now, if they sign Larry Obajobi, if they can sign him and they could get somebody, the dude, he was nose tackle, the big Samoan, Salika, the big Samoan. Maybe get him in a 3rd round pick. I would take that. Now, I'm not real familiar with a lot of college guys, so that's what really is not my forte, which actually sucks. But these 3 free agent Steelers could be signed, but the first one, I don't want any part of this, and that's Taylor Lewin. I don't want no part of that, dude. Hey, Steele, how you doing tonight? I don't want no part of Taylor. The Titans put all his shit in a garbage bag and threw it down the road, and I think threw it in his garbage, either his garbage or in his garage, or threw it out the street. It don't matter. I don't want that guy. I know he was a Pro Bowler. He's down 60 pounds, but I just don't want him. Now, Steve says, I like the Thomas from Georgia. He's a tackle. Campbell and okay, Sika, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Would be A+ in the draft. Okay. I'm cool with what you said. You know a lot of stuff. I'm cool with what you said, Steve. I'm okay with what you just said because we need unless we're getting to one of these big offensive linemen tackles in the first round, and then I'd be happy with Campbell, and then I'd be happy with third round pick that Sika, but I think he's going to be gone. I think that the two of them will be gone. That'll be a shame. But also too, Isaiah Sumola, the Eagles. He was round 3. He was drafted in 2016. He has experience at both guard spots. So there's some Eagles here that are looking. They might the Eagles might release these guys. Steelers might get them. Like out of these 3, as I'm sitting here looking at this paper, I would actually. And the third one is on Andrea Dillard, Eagles tackle, but he's dealt with injuries and he's been very inconsistent. And I don't think I want him because actually he was drafted in the first round. 22nd in the first round in 2019. He only played 9 games. He only started 9 games, but he played in 43. Started 9 games. I don't think that's enough consistency to have the Steelers bring him in and have him signed because, like I said, out of these 3 I just said, the 3 free agents that the Steelers could get, I would take Isaiah Samola, the Eagles. He's 29 years old. He split both guards spots. Maybe we get him as a guard if we can get him because he worked with our assistant. Oh, let's see. Draft is always hit or miss. Okay. Draft a tackle, an offensive tackle. Offensive tackle steal in the first round, and then try to get the Campbell kid in the second round. Are you okay with that? I mean, yeah, it's hard it's hard. I can't judge kids. I can't judge myself anymore. So is that what you say still? Draft the offensive tackle because Benjamin says O-line. Yeah, I think we need to go with an offensive lineman and then fill the spots in as we can get them. If we get the Campbell guy in the second round, get Sika in the third round. Like I said, we are, as I go back here, the draft order, the draft picks are now the third round pick, we're pick 81. Fourth round pick, we're 121. One thing we don't need to waste on first 2 rounds is receiver. Yes. You can get a receiver anywhere. And actually, they can get some free agents. No offense, the XFL and the USFL, they could get specialty players out of those leagues. Because realistically, we have Pickens, we have Dante, we have Steve Sims, we have Anthony Miller, and the returning the guy who's never played a snap, Calvin Austin III. Chris Elliott says, yes, a tackle in a first-round Campbell at 32. I agree with that. Steve says, tons of free agent receiver. Yeah, I haven't even hit that yet. Next week, I'll have to check on some top free agent receivers because I know we're going to have to get one. If we sign halfway decent, you know what I mean? Just one. Let's see. Kenny needs a cinder block. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Steelers freak, he can't get hit 2 concussions. In less than a year and a half, we have to protect his backside. Dan Moore wasn't doing it. Chooks is mediocre at best, but Dan Moore is the weaker of the link of the 2 tackles. I know Chooks is like big money, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then we got, like I said, so we could go to round 4 and actually pick some half decent picks. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that. So yeah, like I said, round 1, we're picking 17, 32, 50, 81, and 121. Hey, Robbie, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. So if we can get 3 out of 4 of these first 4 picks, well, actually 5 because we got 2. We got 2 in the second round. So we got 50 and 81. No, I'm sorry. I effed up. We got 32 and 50 in a second and 81 in a third. So if we can hit, well, I don't know if they'll trade him. I don't know if they'll trade Mason Rudolph. I'm not sure. Somebody might sign him. Somebody's going to sign him, Benjamin. It's not going to be the Steelers. It's going to be somebody else. They need a quality backup. He's a backup. That's what he is. So yeah, okay. 32nd, 50, and 81. At 121. 21 will be, you know, still round fourth round pick is still pretty good. You know, let's see. I wonder who they'll draft. I wonder if they'll trade back in the draft. I'm gonna say no. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Steelers freak. I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna go with 17. Hey Boothie, what's going on? I think they're gonna go with 17, and then they'll draft 32. And like everybody's been saying, we get an offensive tackle, and if we can get the middle, the inside linebacker Campbell as a second round pick, and then if we get the nose tackle Sika at third, that would be huge. That Steeler, those three picks right there would be probably an A+ in my eyes, without even having any special players. They don't need any receivers yet. They can get receivers in free agency if they sign somebody at a half decent, and they can sign them from the XFL or the USFL. Somebody. You say trade up? Nah, I'm not. I'm not trading up. I'm just gonna. I think there's quality. I think we can get. I think we can get. I think we can get everybody we need. I think that. Hey, Sean Steffi, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for helping me out the other day. God bless you. But yeah, I don't think so. I don't think trading up's the answer, Benjamin. I think 17th pick, if we can get the one of the top 3 offensive tackles. Yes, no way. I agree, Steele. I keep the picks we have, because there's going to be a lot of teams picking quarterbacks. So 3 or 4 quarterbacks go before 17, 13 picks. We got 13 picks to shell and try to get the offensive lineman. Like I said, the Jones kid from Ohio State, the tackle, is coming in to talk to the Steelers. He's going to visit. We'll see if Tomlin can wine and dine him and see if they can pick him up. If they can pick him up in the first round, they're going to take him. They'll take one of those big offensive tackles. And like I said before I go, Dan Campbell is the second round pick at 32, and then the third round pick, the second pick is number 50, would be Sika. And Sutton says sign Sutton. Steve says no need for a quarterback with the first. Offensive tackle, inside linebacker, best available edge, cornerback, or defensive lineman. Okay. Javicki, we need to keep all our picks. Our first 3 picks are huge this year. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Benjamin, don't, I know you might have been smoking some weed, Benjamin, or partying like a rock star. We're not trading up. I think that's pretty unanimous that everybody that's tuned in tonight says don't trade up. Keep the picks we got. And the first 3 picks we got could make this Steeler draft here could be very, very lucrative. And I believe the second in command, the guy from Philly, Woodall, will actually be putting his input and his stamp of approval on some linemen. And first, we need offensive linemen. We need somebody to save Kenny Pickett from getting killed. So that's first and foremost, right there. And then everything else will fall into place, Benjamin. And like I said, everything will fall into place. We need a tackle to watch his blind side. And we get an inside linebacker. We get that Sika nose tackle. We're already celebrating. Yeah, Steve. Steve says Devin Bush was a waste of moving up. Save the draft capital. Okay, Steelers freak. I think our receiver is a long shot, but he only posts on the tables. No, we don't need any of that. We don't need. Definitely don't need a. Well, we can get backup quarterbacks. But I think Mitch Trubisky's going to sign, and maybe they're going to work a deal out. I don't know. We don't need any running backs this year, but we could get some receivers. Like Steve says, there's a lot of free agent receivers who probably can sign at dollar bin prices, dollar general prices, and go from there. And then we'll see if we need to get another tight end somewhere. I'm telling you, we can get players. If our scouting is as good as we think it is, we can scout players. Definitely, I'm telling you, definitely in this XFL. And I don't give a shit what anybody says, and definitely in the United States Football League, these young kids want to play. And you know what? There's some talented people out there. You know, I honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I'd sign Josh Gordon right now because weed is not a big thing. Sign Josh Gordon for what, a hamburger and a handshake. We don't need a kicker, Benjamin. He'll be 100% healthy. We do not need a kicker. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, you're okay. We don't need those. And like I said, I would sign Josh Gordon after the XFL right now. Somebody's going to sign him. Why not the Steelers? Who cares? So what if he smokes dope? It's legal now. Who cares? Who cares? He's real cheap. He can still catch. You know what I mean? Who cares? You know, I don't. The only thing I don't want is the Steelers to draft that Carter from Georgia because that's a lot of controversy, and the Steelers do not need that. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but that's my take on that situation. Chris says, from what 93.7 The Fan said, Andy Weedhall is in charge of putting together the Steelers draft board. Well, if that is the case, then we are drafting linemen and places. We're not drafting specialty receivers and all that other crazy shit. No way. No, that's not going to happen. I'm hot. My blank. Oh, okay. Don't smoke up too much, Steeler freak. Don't do that. But yeah, Andy Weedle was just gonna, package it like like how he did the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay, and I'm okay with everybody tuning in tonight. But like I said, it was a mock draft. We talk about some stuff. Steelers did not sign anybody, give them the franchise tag. They did not do that, which I'm surprised. But hopefully they can sign Cam Sutton, and like Steve says, sign Cam Sutton, Larry Obajobi, and just give some players a little bit, fine tune some money, like Javicki said. Get some players signed, and then keep looking. I'm sure there's going to be more mock drafts. I'll be looking. And then I'm also going to look next week, guys, for some free agency receivers that are out there that the Steelers could pick up real cheap and economically sound. We don't need it, but also, too, like I just said 5 minutes ago, Josh Gordon in the XFL will be signed in somewhere. Why don't the Steelers just sign him? That's, you know what I mean? Can't cover him. Couldn't cover him. Let him smoke dope. It's okay with me. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in for this episode of the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. And if you haven't, please check out my interview with the great ring general himself, Dr. Tom Pritchard, who actually trained The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. That's right, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. His trainer was Dr. Tom Pritchard, and I got that interview on the YouTube channel on the Triple B Experience. So everybody was checking it out. I know some of you guys might be some wrestling fans. And like I said, Friday night we'll be doing some pulp culture, talking wrestling, some pulp culture. And this show here was all about the Steelers. If you haven't hit like and subscribe, please do. I will have this show replayed, and I'll also put it on Spotify like I always do. And I'm very, 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 very close to 950 YouTube subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please do, and I appreciate everybody's input, as I do always, on the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show. So everybody, thank you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you Steeler fans next week. Drink one for me. Have a great night, and let's get out of here. See you guys. Peace out.